I arrived, there was very little. They had an art school, which has, not long after I was there, they lost the building was sold, and it's one of the buildings that's not going to be part of this new development. So we vacated that and have instead put the focus on reaching large numbers of kids. There was no program, at least when I arrived, that was bringing in the Broward School children, and I felt that not only that was unfortunate that they weren't doing that, but it was also putting the Broward kids at a disadvantage to their immediate neighbors in Miami and Palm Beach, where they were getting it, because they're going to be competing directly with them for college and for careers, and they weren't getting that sophisticated introduction to art, the awareness to the world that their immediate peers were receiving. So we put our efforts into creating programs to bring in, and we worked closely with the Broward School District that what they were interested in, because they don't have art in schools. So that they wanted the sixth graders to have this experience. So we raised the funds. We now have a program called Museum on the Move that brings in all the sixth graders to the museum, provides free buses, free admission, the tour of the exhibitions, and then an art workshop that relates to it. We also brought in the opportunity for them to meet with artists who come up with projects for them to do. Many of them are on our website. So that program is now 2 years old and is having a big impact. We give the kids free passes to bring their families back, and I just recently was told that one of the kids during spring break, when his family came to visit, they said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to bring you to the museum and I'm going to give you a tour," which he did. So we're having him and his family come this week because he was particularly interested in a particular group of works that we have, and we're pulling them out for him to study in our research center, 10-year-old kid. And the parents have already said, "Do you have an internship for him? Because this is what's really has caught his passion." So it's very organic. What is the needs? How can we serve them? The other was that I don't want to have any impediment for students to come and families to come, and one of them is if there's an admission price or the time. So we started a one free night a month, the free Thursdays. PNC is our presenting sponsor. Interesting difference between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. When you do a late night at the museum in Miami, what do? You get the DJ, you get the bar, and it becomes a scene. Not so much inside, but outside. Well, for our first one 2 years ago, I got the bar, I got the DJ, we opened the doors, and in come all the baby carriages. And it was amazing. All these families just pouring in to the museum, or carrying their babies, I'm talking about infants, and holding them up to me and saying, "This is their first time in a museum." And I said, "How about you?" "Oh, it's my first time in a museum too." And so this year we made it from 5 to 8, and this year we're now making it 4 because we saw how many of the young families. Oh, by the way, we got rid of the bar and the DJ. We didn't need it, even though we get young professionals. The interesting thing is they come for the art. They're coming for the art, and we have a cafe, so they get 2-for-1 drinks there. That's fine. Nice bookstore. And we have so we then put in 2 education programs that are also free those nights. One is Mini Muse, and it was for 5 to 12-year-olds and their families to have age-appropriate tours and then hands-on activity. But I saw they were bringing even younger kids with them, so I started a micro Mini Muse. So that's for the 3 to 5-year-olds. And so this has become a way for families to have experience together, learning together, engagement, and we have repeats. Visitors, we're getting over 500 people for each one of these free nights, and so clearly it broke down that barrier, and they're coming from all over, and the demographics are as wide as you can imagine, and there might be a lecture going on that night by a professor from NSU, or there might be an artist doing a workshop, or we had a recent performance that was done by this artist from Guadeloupe that related to the Kiefer exhibition. And the children were so engaged, and this was a repetitive action that this artist did, and the kids were riveted. They sat there for an hour just watching the same action over and over again. And afterwards she had gotten up and was in the cafe, and she was dressed out of, like, from the 18th century dress, and all the kids wanted to go and meet the princess, and she sat and talked to them about what she was doing, and they had all these questions. So, this is the kind of experience we're creating. The other thing that we do is not only emphasis on children, but seniors, and as we know, the seniors is going to be our largest growing audience, with the baby boomers reaching that age. And we had a program in place that was unique. It's called the Speakers Bureau. It's our docents. They put together lectures that they are booked at assisted living, at the country club developments, at condos, neighborhood associations. They do 82 lectures a year on our collection or related subject with our exhibitions. And so it's bringing our programs out into the community, and we do, from Miami to Palm Beach, and bring this out to seniors who might be housebound and can't make it to the museum. So that is another really strong aspect of community.